Are you thinking about building an ADU but are feeling overwhelmed by the price tag? Everything costs money. The permits, construction, materials, it adds up fast. But the truth is that most homeowners overpay simply because they don't know where to trim the fat. Here's the good news. You don't have to cut corners to cut costs. In this video, I'm sharing 8 ways to save money on your ADU build, from design choices to planning strategies. These could really shave off thousands of your budget. Honestly, number 8 is the one that I learned the hard way because it cost me about $12,000, so allow me to help you avoid my mistake. If you're looking for the cost of an ADU, I have an article linked in the description, and when I do the video on it, I'm gonna link it right here. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Erin, and I'm a real estate agent passionate about alternative housing because I understand what is going on in the real estate market. We simply need smaller options. I create content to help you learn more about ADUs, tiny homes, and maximizing smaller spaces through 2 different YouTube channels. I'll link the other one in the description. So if you're looking to add a rental, downsize, or house a loved one, you came to the right place. Now, let's talk about saving money on your ADU build. The first thing, you may want to consider using Turnkey services. It is so tempting to save money by doing the work yourself. The truth is 90% of the time, you're going to end up spending more money and time. I have learned this the hard way. A turnkey company handles everything. The permitting, design, construction, it really just makes it so much easier for you. These companies can streamline the process. They have experience navigating the zoning, the permitting rules, which is usually a big headache for first-time ADU builders. They may also have design packages or upgrades that are pre-priced, so you're not constantly getting hit with change orders or other surprises. You're also not the one juggling all the contractors. These companies do so much business, they often actually get bulk pricing on their materials. A turnkey company can simplify the process, reduce mistakes that are just going to cost you later. The second way to save money, go with a pre-approved plan. Many cities now offer permit-ready or pre-approved ADU plans. And a pre-approved ADU plan is a building design that your city or county, they've already reviewed it. They've approved it for code compliance. That means that when you use one of those plans, you can skip a big part of the permitting process, which means no long waits for plan checks back and forth with the city. You still need the permit, but it can get approved much faster. And you can save money on the architectural fees because the design work's already done. Some cities even waive or reduce the fees if you choose one of their pre-approved designs. It's one of the smartest ways to cut cost and speed up your ADU project timeline. Let's look at one of the pre-approved ADU plans as an example. We're gonna look at this website that has some pre-approved plans. Let's click into it. They've got a couple examples. We'll just pick one. PDF opens up and you can see it's got the full plans, everything you need. If your city doesn't offer pre-approved plans, you can also look online for different plans that might work for your property or project. I've got some home plans on my website and I'll link them in the description. Be sure to ask your architect or draftsman if they have any plans already drawn up. But remember, even slight changes to a plan can trigger extra review fees. So try to stick as close as possible to the original design so that you can try to keep those costs lower. The third way to save money, stack your utilities. This smart design move can save you hundreds or even thousands in construction costs. Keep your kitchen, your bathroom, your laundry close together. That's all the plumbing items. Why is this? Because the farther apart these areas are, the more you're going to pay to run plumbing, venting, the electrical lines, just all around the unit. But if you can stack your plumbing spaces, say put the kitchen and bathroom on the same wall, your plumber has a lot fewer pipes to run. That cuts down on labor, time, and materials. And down the road, if you ever need to make a repair, everything's in one place, which means it's going to be easier access and lower cost on that repair bill. Let's look at what stacking utilities means. You can see on the left, this is an efficient plumbing layout, and on the right, it's actually inefficient. I marked the plumbing pipes in red, and you can see on the left, there's only 2 spaces where the pipes need to run. On the right, there is a lot more. The fourth way to save money, minimize interior walls. Something a lot of people don't think about is that every wall is going to add cost. That's going to be framing, drywall, the finishing, paint, electrical wiring, and even the HVAC adjustments. It's all going to add up fast. Look at these 2 plans and you can see just how many walls are on the left versus the right. Open floor plans help you save money. They make small spaces feel bigger. You can still create separation through zones using furniture, rugs, even open bookshelves instead of actual full walls. For example, a couch with a console table behind it can act as a visual divider between the living and dining area. Or consider using a freestanding bookshelf to section off your sleeping nook because it's no framing required. The fifth way to save money, build on a slab foundation. If your property allows it, a slab on grade foundation is usually the cheapest option. Crawl spaces, the raised foundations, they could add cost and complexity. There's extra wood, insulation, skirting around the open space. Even though it's not always possible to do slab on grade, it's worth asking your builder. The good news for those doing a garage conversion is you won't have to worry too much about that when it comes to the foundation because it's already there. The sixth way to save money, keep it simple. The shape of the ADU and the roof line. So when it comes to saving money on your ADU build, simple really is smarter. You all know the KISS saying. So when people start with complex shapes, bump outs, angled corners, it might look cool, but it means more cuts, materials, and more labor. The same goes for those custom roof lines. The more twists, slopes, dormers you add, the more expensive your framing and roofing becomes. But a simple rectangular footprint with a basic gable or like a shed type roof, it's easier to frame, it's easier to roof, and it's also more affordable overall. But don't worry, simple doesn't have to mean boring. You can add curb appeal with exterior colors, trim, the windows, the landscaping. So even though it's simple, it can really be custom. It's all about starting with a clean, cost-efficient base and then adding your personality with those finishing touches. The seventh way to save money on your ADU build, there's a hidden cost that catches a lot of people off guard, and that is distance. The further you put your ADU from your main house, the more it's going to cost to trench and run water, electrical, sewer. The further it's from where your tenant will park also is a factor. Every extra foot means more digging, conduit, pipe, and labor charges. So it's not even just the utilities. You may need to pour extra concrete, add stepping stones, outdoor lighting just to make a path safe and accessible. It may not always be the most scenic spot, but definitely the most budget-friendly way to do it. If you're worried about privacy, a really well thought out layout or even landscaping can help. You also may not want to place the main windows toward the main house, or you may need to put up a privacy fence. The eighth way to save money, do not over-customize. My nickname during projects was special order because I loved the stuff that was not in stock. What I learned is special order is pricey. Things like custom cabinetry, designer tile, high-end fixtures, that is going to blow your budget. And I get it, it's tempting to go for those Pinterest perfect finishes, but remember, it's a small space. So what's going to work in a 2,000 square foot house is not always going to translate to a 400 square foot ADU. So look for budget-friendly materials that are easy to clean, they're going to hold up over time, especially if you're going to rent that unit out. The focus needs to be on function and longevity. You can always upgrade the finishes later, but the structure and the layout are much harder to change. Really save those splurges for things that truly matter. So there you have it, 8 ways to save money on your ADU build without cutting corners. You don't have to sacrifice style or function by keeping it simple. I hope you learned something from today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you want to help support my mission to advocate for tiny homes and ADUs, give the video a like, share it with a friend. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on some exciting stuff. If you have any thoughts, leave those in the comments. And if you have an ADU story to share, I've got a way to get in touch with me in the description. Don't forget to check out rearon.com for tips, resources, and real-world stories. Also, check out the next video I picked out for you right here.